Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Edge Season 2. I have been doing a little bit of work on the Spooky Woods game, and when I say that I've been doing work, Skribs has been doing a lot of work. This is turning out so amazing, but I think I just finally figured out the math that I needed for the spaces. So the starting spot is going to be this gold square here, and then you can kind of see it leads off into some different color spaces like a board game. The goal here is that we'll set up at each of these gold spaces, which will be every 10th space going in, a dispenser with some heads in it, and that will determine which color you're on, so kind of like rolling the dice. So let's take a quick walk through here and see what we've got going on. And there's lots more construction and things being worked on. If you ever wanted to know what a chess monster looked like, just come visit any of Skribs' projects. So hopefully you noticed, but there was a couple of these gold spaces along the way here, and those are going to signify when we do a game. I'm still working out a few of the detailed rules, so I don't want to spoil anything quite yet, but just know that we're getting a lot of this done, and there's still a lot of work to do. So as a bit of a proof of concept, that is kind of what I'm going to do as dice for the game. Let me show you. So when it's your turn, you'll come up here, no armor on, and push the button. That will then put a head on your body. Kind of looks weird. But, so if I got the Lee head, I would go to the Lee space, which will be one of these red ones. We'll put a head on here somewhere. It'll either be this one, or this one, depending on which color Lee ends up being. And my plan is that there will be 9 heads in each little dice tower thing, and I'm gonna name them for which color they need to be. So right now the work in progress is that we're gonna do red, purple, and cyan, and then each character will have a certain color. And so right now I think I had Lee, Skribs, and Lavender as purple, Core, Kobold, and WelderFish as cyan, and Disco, Shark, and Red as red. And so if you end up with a color, you'll go find the space that matches the head that you have on, and then that will determine once everybody's gone. So there should be up to a maximum, I suppose, of 9 players at a time. So somewhere between 3 and 9 players would be required for this game. Once you push the button, everybody should end up on a space, and then that determines your team for the game. So once teams have been decided based on the colors, anybody on a cyan would be Team Cyan, anybody on purple would be Team Purple, obviously, anybody on red would be Team Red. And at each of these gold sections, so everybody before is going to have taken their turn. Once we hit a gold section, I'll have a warp plate marking that there's a game, and so everybody will come through and warp to whichever the game is, or some of the spots actually have space for a game right next to him, but like here in this beautiful cavern here, we'll warp to a game, and then the people who get first place will get some coins, and the whole goal of the game is I might also have on some of these game spots. I'm a big fan of Mario Party, and so I think even on some of these game spots, we'll have a couple times where maybe you can buy something that will help you in a game. Like you could buy an iron sword. Will that help you in Spleef? Probably not, but might that help you in a PvP game? You better believe it. And so as we continue to work on this area, one of the things that I really want to do is lighten up the path. So in the cave, the light levels are really nice, but once we get up here, there's a hidden bed. It is just a little dark. So I've got a mod that'll help show me the light level, and mobs can spawn on any of the zeros. And so one of the things that I'm going to do is probably wall in just using some fences and bury some lights. I don't want it to be too bright, so I'll probably just like set some lanterns and some cool things here and there. But we need to get this place lightened up a little bit. Skribs still has a little bit of work to do on the road. But I don't know if you saw this earlier, but this road is just phenomenal. And I am getting so excited to see how this is all coming together. Alright, let's place some dispensers now. And here at the first stop, where the first game is, we already have something in the works. That's sort of a mining themed minigame, and there's a warp plate ready, and this first game is already done. I want to make this look a little bit more like a mine entrance, but Skribs did an excellent job of this area, so I wanted to stick with the theme. So let's do a sneak peek here. So on the inside here, it needs a little bit more decorative help, but there are 9 spots with cobble and a light above them. And what I'm gonna do is we'll have rules on one of the walls, and we'll have a bunch of wood pickaxes. There are 32 cobblestone down, and then there's another light and a piece of obsidian, so it's pretty obvious when you hit the bottom. But this mini game will basically be mining down and then pillaring all the way back up, and the first one to the top wins the game. Nice and simple, not too hard. That's the goal. And so I've worked a little bit on some lighting for the road and started kind of fencing in that area. You can kind of see some of the fences over here that kind of helps carry in. So if we hit our light button on, we're now lit up. I got a little bit more to do, but for the most part, there shouldn't be mobs spawning in here. And then what I'm going to do is kind of just outside of your typical, you're on the road, you're not necessarily looking this deep, but what we'll do is we'll have some lighting and then some of these areas where on the other side of that, I don't really care if mobs spawn and stuff like that. So we'll kind of fence this area in a little bit, light up a little bit more for outside of the road. I'm going to do these, just a dark oak plank with some candles on it. I think it looks kind of cool and it gives off enough light that it's not an issue. So all along the road here, I just set some candles, kind of alternating sides, and I think it looks pretty good. We take that off. I could maybe try to come back around at nighttime, but so we're gonna light this up a little bit more and continue working on the road for the spooky forest. Now that we've got a bunch of the lighting done and have made what I'm gonna call some pretty good progress on the spooky woods, I wanted to continue what I've been doing here as we're getting closer and closer to wrapping up season 2. I wanted to show off another build. So welcome to Tilbrook, and we'll take you through a couple of these fantastic buildings. So this is a church of some sort, even with working stairs up to the top. That's fantastic. We're gonna claim this as a church of the Great Piglin King, that's for sure. Call that lore. Little graveyard outside, pretty awesome. Actual, that's hilarious. Tilbrook is built by Kobold and Core, and they have done such a fantastic job of making these just look so good. Little cafe restaurant, some sea pickles, some cups. I love the aqueduct designs along the sides of the road. Each of these buildings, I mean, it just feels like walking in a little European village that I've never traveled to before. I just really loved all the nooks and crannies here. The dogs, the cats, each building has stuff going on in it. Just makes me want to flip every single... Makes me want to flip everything. But obviously, I break things when I touch things, so we're going to be a little more careful. So there's so much here that's just so amazing. It's aqueducts, the streets, the different shops. I think I hit a potato up there when I was here. Each building has such good detail on the inside, and it's just so cool. One of the cool things that we've been talking about with Edge Season 2 as it is coming to a close is we've been having each of the world downloads. So we did that Season 1 where you could actually download the world, come take a look at all of these buildings, but there is something in the works that I will keep you all posted on. That would be pretty cool, kind of a community event, and so hopefully here in the next couple of months we'll be able to get a lot of this finished up and have some fun, awesome, and very amazing things to show off in the near future. And so to end today's episode, I wanted to come back to New Theophilus, which is Lee's Colosseum and her ancient Roman city. I know we showed this off just recently, but take a look at what she's done. I mean, look at those absolutely fantastic statues. Go check out Lee's new episode to learn more about these amazing statues and the work that she's been doing on the Colosseum. Some really super good stuff. And that is it, my friends, for today's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed the work on the Spooky Forest. You know, with the talk of the season being done here pretty soon, I'm definitely feeling the deadline crunch to try to get it done. Let me know what you're excited about still for Season 2. And let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas for Season 3. I actually already have a couple of pretty cool ideas for my starter base and the mega base next season. I will no longer be a Blazeborn, which is sad. But I'm going to change up my origin. I am probably going back to my character from Season 1, which is a Shulk. And they have some cool things that we'll talk about later. But he is not the Great Piglin King. He is a explorer and adventurer. And so I think that fits very well into some of the 1.20 updates with exploration and armor trims and just all kinds of cool new things to explore and seek out and find. And so I'm really looking forward to starting up some new things for next season, but there is still a lot to do to wrap this season up, and I don't want to shortchange anybody. Speaking of new and exciting things, I have hit 100 subscribers. Oh my goodness. I so appreciate everybody who's been watching and leaving comments and sending me messages. It's just so awesome to hear that you all are enjoying this process as much as I am. And so to celebrate 100 subs, we've launched something new. We now have official Edge merchandise. That's right, folks. You can get an Edge t-shirt and wear it all over the place to help rep and bring some awareness to the Edge SMP. So you can snag Edge t-shirts now that help support the server. So the funds from the ones with the Edge logo on them go directly to support the server. And then we'll be able to start posting some different content creator shirts. Like right now, you can snag a limited edition Blackreach t-shirt that I am pretty proud of. I think it looks quite amazing. That shirt is only going to be available for a limited time. So if you are thinking about snagging one, go ahead and snag one. I also just added some cool coffee mug designs and some stickers. So snag a shirt, add a couple little items to it, and help support the Edge. Any support for the Edge SMP is amazing. And so that, my friends, is all that we have for today's episode. I hope that you've had a fantastic end to your summer, and there's still so much more to do. We'll catch you later. Boo.